Well, hey guys, another success story here. Super excited to share this story. Super excited to share the journey over the last 6 months here. And I've got Coach Jen on the call. Y'all know Coach Jen, and I got Kim on the call as well. And so let's dive in. Let's talk because I remember the beginning very specifically because I think what happened was I think I missed a call with you.
Yes.
And then you text me and said, "Hey, I'm supposed to be on a call. Where is everybody?" Most times people just don't show up again, but it's like I missed the call. Laura got on a call with you, and it December 24th? Was that
It
it was
was
December
Christmas
24th,
Eve.
day before Christmas. I didn't show up by accident, and Laura shows up, and you say yes to working with a guy you probably just met through an ad. I'm going to say, how did we connect?
Yeah, it was through Facebook.
Yeah.
I saw an ad that came through, and I had watched your 3 pillars, and I'd watched a couple of your videos before I kind of made the plunge, so to speak. And then I think it was the week before, I had put in my email and things, and I kind of thought, oh, I probably won't hear from them until after the holidays, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when I got the email and the call was set up for the 24th, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we worked. We worked. I think we took 2 days off and continued working. It was a busy season. Definitely. There was a lot of people that were looking for help during that time. But yeah, so you hopped on here, saw us on an ad, watched some of the videos and trainings we had there. What made you decide here to take the plunge? Why now? And not wait till the new year or until things were over and and all that stuff. Why now?
Yeah. Well, if I'm being honest, Mike, I think for sure it was the heaviness of it being the holidays, and I had just spent a lot of money that I knew I probably didn't have. And I guess I thought the longer I wait, the worse it might be. And rather than thinking of, it taking me 2 or 3 months to kind of pay things off, I kind of thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to just bite the bullet and see where. And honestly, there was a little bit of desperation there too with how am I going to pay it off. I'm a single mom and full-time work, but still it kind of I just kind of I knew I was in a little bit of a 1 foot forward, 2 steps back kind of thing. So I just thought, you know what, there's no point in waiting. And I took it as a sign when I got that email, and then you responded back to me right away. I was like, okay, no turning back now.
We're all in. It's like skydiving. Once you get in the air, you're in, you're committed.
Yeah.
You're jumping off that plane. I love it. And so maybe you can explain a little bit here in terms of what was happening before we connected financially. You said you were 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Had you tried things in the past and it didn't work, or what was your situation at that point?
Yep. So I actually went through a divorce just a little over 12 years ago. And so all of a sudden I became fully responsible for all of the money coming in and going out kind of thing. And so for the first 4 or 5 years, I, kind of just went along doing the normal, pay your hydro bill, pay your phone bill, do your whatever, but not really tracking. And so then I kind of started to think, okay, I remember my girlfriends coming over it was probably 4 or 5 years after we had divorced. And I remember one of my girlfriends saying, gee, Kim, if this is what divorce looks like. And I remember saying out loud, oh no, this is what debt looks like. So I think I knew 6 or 7 years ago that I was kind of, I needed to get a handle on things. And my ex-husband and I are very amicable, and he's very financially savvy. So I'm very grateful for a lot of things that we did early on in life, savings for our ESPs for the kids, savings for ourselves, things like that. But it was always stuff that I didn't really understand. And it was his thing. He loved it, right? Yeah. So when I didn't get into it, it was kind of a little bit of a form of tension. And I think I remember saying once on a call, I get it now. How this is so exciting, because it really is when you get into it and you kind of have a sense of control. Because I think that's what I lost over the past several years. I kind of lost control. There was no intention with where things were. I was kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. I was making all of my payments, so things were okay, but the credit card debt was racking up. And I remember when we separated, I said, okay, I'm only going to have one card and I'm going to use it for
Yeah.
everything, so that the points and because my parents go to Florida in the winter and it was fun when the kids and I could go on March break and visit them and use my points to travel. But then it just, few years later, the one credit card turned into two, and then the two turned into three. And then
Yeah.
at three, I was like, okay, I need to rein it back in. So
Yeah.
I just I got a little bit sidetracked in not tracking, and I was just it, and then it got away from me, and then it was just overwhelming, and I was trying to find my way back, and and then you guys appeared, and
Hello. Yeah. Debt, like going into debt and managing money, it's well, as you've learned, it's simple, right? The process is simple, but it can be so overwhelming when you don't know where to start, what to do, or
Yeah.
even where to go.
Yeah.
To find the right information and how to implement, because it seems like everyone's got their own opinion, banks or whoever, you go to, they go, oh, just do X, Y, and Z and do this.
Yeah.
Right. And what we have found is this process that we walk people through, it's simple, right? And that's, I find it has to be simple or people don't stick to it long term.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy.
No.
Right. And I think for most people, the part that's not easy is, whether you want to call it habits or behaviors. Sometimes, as we talked about on all of the group calls, the self-sabotage, how you think, how you feel really does play into it. When I'm having a bad day is when I tend to go for the chocolate bar. When I'm having great days, I don't tend to touch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's overcoming that stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
That really helps you win.
For sure. And I think too, Mike, when you just reminded me because you had asked me what my journey kind of was up until now, I had totally, I have a financial advisor at the bank. I have, like friends who are very budget savvy and, so I had done all of those things within the past 10 years. And even a couple of times I was kind of told that I was not necessarily living beyond my means, but that I was doing too much. And I know, I'm not an extravagant kind of person. So I think the belief systems that you guys teach, which is awesome, those were already instilled in me, that I knew it was possible. I knew I could do it because I knew I wasn't doing things incorrectly. I just wasn't being shown or done to do it the right way, in a way that felt doable, I guess, for me, rather than just throwing in the towel and going, oh my gosh, it's never going to work. I'm going to go into I think one of the companies tried to do like a consolidation kind of thing. And I was like, you know what, I know I'm a little overwhelmed here, but I also know that 30% is not a good, not a good rate for me to be throwing away my money for someone who says, here, do it this way. Yeah. So I kind of, I think that too is why I loved your program so much, because it just, I think I said to Jen a few times, Jen, like, it's just, I know it's not magic. I know it is just simple and it works, but there were times that I thought, I don't know how this is going to work. And it just does.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Yeah. It
is
works.
The intention, and it is the belief of knowing that if you just do the day-to-day activities and stick to it and, trust the process, it really does work.
Yeah. And I think that's a big thing about why you were so successful, Kim, is that you did have the belief that you could do it and that it would work, but also you weren't afraid to do the hard work and to do what was necessary in order to get the results that you wanted. Yeah.
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 True.
Yeah. For sure. So how are you feeling today? How do you feel today about your money compared to, last year?
Oh, it's crazy. I just can't even. First off, I can't believe I've lived 6 months without using a credit card or going into my overdraft. That's what gives me the confidence, and I guess I feel very thankful that I didn't give up when people were telling me I was not able to do it, and because I thought I know I can. So that right there alone, with just the cash flow plan and realizing that I can do it, is like weightlifting. It's crazy. It feels really good. And the other reason that I started, when you asked why now, Mike, is that I'm 52. So I really was hoping, the Freedom 55 thing was going to be an option for me. And then when divorce happened, I kind of thought, maybe I might go to 60, 65. But anyway, I really think, I'm not going to say 55, but maybe 56, 57. So I really wanted to get a handle of getting all of that debt under control and even paid off before I looked at retirement. And And now I have no doubt it's totally going to be paid off. Like I was thinking, if I can just retire with just my mortgage payment, I'll be good. But now I might not even have much of that. So it's
Now that might be gone.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, no, there's some real driving motivators for sure behind, doing the work, because even the Facebook marketplace and selling everything. Although it had started to grow old, I'm kind of getting remotivated now that it's spring and summer and I'm digging out sheds and
Yeah.
I love it. Finding things other people want to pay for.
yes, yeah, exactly. So yeah.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
What for you? So before we met, what was your plan for debt free? Did you have a timeline to pay off the debt? Did you have a timeline to be mortgage free at that point? Do you remember?
No, I didn't. I didn't
Okay.
really have, like, I was hoping to I didn't really have a plan to be mortgage free at all. I was just hoping to just have a mortgage when I retired and no other payments. But I knew that was probably even wishful thinking. I was kind of, I didn't have any intention around it. I hadn't talked to, anyone about what that date looked like. Yeah.
Okay. And today, what's the debt free date today?
So I think when Jen and I did it, because when I did my very first, I think it was in module, I don't know if it was in 1 or 2, where we had to do our 3 and 6 and 12-month goal.
Week 2 there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was like a 5-year.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And so when I got to the 5-year, I was like, okay, this is easy, because that was my retirement. Like I was really hoping for, within 5 years kind of thing. And so I think when I looked at the date for retirement, like when I was looking in my work life, it was December. In my head, I had thought, okay, December 1st, 2025 is when I would like to be able to say, one of my children will still be in university, but on her last year, and my other one will be graduated and all of that kind of stuff. And when Jen and I did my debt-free date, it came up of January 2025.
Nice. And that's completely debt-free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, still with my mortgage, but
still with the mortgage,
way smaller. But that's with both, that's with my daughter's car paid off, my car paid off, all of the other lines of credit, and and actually there was a home equity line of credit that was on that too. Well, so technically, I guess, little less than full mortgage, but
part of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
From no plan to less than 4 years.
Right.
Being completely debt free. I love it.
Oh, me too, Mike. Me too.
I love it. Now, let me ask this. What would you say to those who were where you were 6 months ago? They tried a couple different things. Maybe there was overwhelm. Maybe there's a bit of fear. What would you say to those people that are at that part of their life right now? Wondering, what do we do? Do I consolidate? Do I remortgage? Do I do a home equity line of credit, like you just said there? Mm-hmm. What would you say to them?
I think the first thing I would say is trust the process of that cash flow plan, because I don't think, everyone's situation, of course, is different, but I know that consolidation is not the healthy way to go if you're trying to, I think if you trust the process, that cash flow plan was life-saving for me. And when I say I'm a lifer, that I will do that for life. I will teach that to my kids. I will, because it really does give you a sense of, I don't want to say control, but I'm a little bit of a control driven person, but it gives you a sense of control, and it gives you a sense of trust that you can do it without going outside and, I don't want to say making things worse, but adding on to the I don't know what the right emotion is. I don't want to say guilt. It's not guilt. Sometimes it's guilt. Sometimes it's, wishing you didn't have to, but you kind of need to, I don't know what the right word is for the emotion, but that honestly is completely gone. I think by month 3, I think I told Jen, I totally know this is going to work. Like, I don't even though I know I still have, I don't know what the number was, tens of thousands of dollars, and I don't even have a doubt that it's going to happen. So I think you just have to believe and trust the process. That would be my biggest advice.
I love that. Yeah, because you stayed so positive throughout this process, and a number of times you're like, the cash flow plan, I just love the cash flow plan. Where has this been all my life? Just the way you were able to harness it. the power of it. And like you said, that control, it's helped you to achieve some big things because you paid off, was it 4 debts off your list gone?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
you have to do the work. Like
Oh yeah.
I, as much as I believe, and I still don't know how it works, like I honestly don't, I still think there's a little bit of magic fairy dust or something in there somewhere. Because I look at it and I think, oh, how is this ever? But you do still have to do the work. Like I know, Jen, you and I, excuse me, talked a lot about being in that cash flow plan at least every couple of days, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it gets away from you. And all of a sudden, you think it's just $20 here and $20 there. But if you don't pay attention to that, by the end of your month, that's turned into a couple $100, which could have gone towards a credit card debt if you had have been a little more intentional. So you have to do the work. I know I say it's magic and I have to believe, but you kind of still have to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not saying you show up and it just wipes everything out.
Yeah.
It gotta work. But there's this, I think you speak to this, Kim, there's this idea, well, it's not an idea, it's truth that what you focus on tends to expand. What you focus on tends to get done. And I think for you, what happened in the last 6 months, we just got really focused on your finances and all of a sudden it started to move.
Yeah.
And start to change it. I think that's essential. I mean, that's the secret sauce right there.
Yes.
What you focus on gets done, right? And so it's no difference in a messy office. If you don't focus on it or clean it, guess what?
Yeah.
Got stuff everywhere, right? And so with the finances, I think it's the same way.
Yeah.
And I think it was you, Mike, that had said, oh, sorry, Jen, on a call, Mike, you had said, it's amazing how things just show up. Like, money just kind of appears. And I remember when you first said that, I'm thinking, oh, okay, this might be a stretch. I don't know if I can.
He's crazy. He's in crazy land right now. Money just doesn't show up.
But it really did happen for me, like, opportunities to pick up extra shifts with these vaccine clinics or things like that, just kind of honestly. And I don't know, again, like you said, maybe they were there before. And because I wasn't intentional, I didn't, maximize on them. I didn't take the opportunity. But it is amazing how many things have just kind of, shown up because I was being intentional for sure.
Yeah. And that's that big word that I was going to highlight there that you've said a couple times, like the intention, being intentional with your habits, your behaviors, your thoughts. Those are a lot of the driving factors, I would say, for your success. So proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Well, hey, we loved serving you. It was a blast and the journey was awesome.
Yes.
And so can I ask, how much debt have we paid off up to date? Where are you at right now? Do you know the total?
I do. It's just over 16,000, 16,425 to be exact. Not that anyone's counting.
Not that anyone's counting, just 16,025 and 0.2 cents.
Right.
I love it. And does that include an emergency fund as well? Or did you say an emergency fund on top of that?
Yes, that's my emergency. Well, almost all of my emergency fund.
Nice.
I got in a little bit of trouble. I dipped into my emergency fund on month 5 when it wasn't really an emergency. And it was just the fact that it was driving me crazy that I was paying such high interest debt on these things and I had $1,000 sitting there.
And so you just took it. Yeah.
But then Jen, gently corrected me back to the path. And now at the end of June, that $1,000 will be back in there. It's halfway.
Amazing.
It's actually 2/3 of the way in there now, but yes, by the end of June, it will be back in there. So yes, that's an emergency fund as well.
Good. Yeah. Amazing. $16,000. Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, that is huge.
Most people come on the calls and they say, Mike, I know like you celebrate people paying off $10, $15, $20,000, but that's not me. Such a one, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like 6 months later, it's like, holy cow, 16,000, 20,000. We had one couple pay off 2 car payments.
Wow.
And when I first started that, they said, we're not doing that, Mike. We're not going to have the car. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I've heard that enough times to kind of say, okay, sure. Let's see what happens. And 6 months later, it's like the car's paid off. The second car's paid off. 3 credit cards are paid off. Right. Yeah. And so congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is amazing. So let me ask you this. If I could, because obviously there's an investment to work with us. If I could give you your investment back in exchange for your old situation back, you had to go back to when things were on December 24th before we hopped on that call.
Yeah.
Would you do it?
No, take the money, you mean, and go, oh my gosh, no.
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 Okay.
6 more months, I will have paid that off again anyway, so you can keep your money.
Keep it and shove it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it really is freeing, and it's very empowering, because I know the further modules, like towards the end of the lessons, you know, I wasn't even thinking of, and I think it was one of the last calls you did about revisiting your goals and stuff like
Yes,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the stuff that I'm thinking of now is so exciting and empowering. You know, the fact that now when my children buy their first home, I can, you know, have some money to help them with the down payment, or I
Nice,
can
yeah.
do, you know, things that I never even really thought of being goals, are really, really, really exciting things. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Because they're possibilities now, right?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
That's amazing. No, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives you hope. You know, I tell people, if your goals or if your cash flow plan doesn't get you excited, if it doesn't give you hope, you need
Mhm.
something new.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I love that. And so Jen, let me hand it off to you. Do you have any questions?
Oh, yeah. So tell me what you're looking forward to most in the upcoming year.
Whew, in the upcoming year. Well, the first thing would be hitting that 12-month, because of course December will be my first 12-month goal, which I believe was to have 2 of my 3 credit cards paid off, and one's already gone. So that'll be exciting to have that other one. I think so. In the midst of all this too, I had one daughter at university come home, and now she'll be going back again in August. And I've totally, it'll be interesting to see how that changes the cash flow plan moving forward. So I think, yeah, I guess my excitement and what I'm looking forward to now for the rest of the year is my self-commitment, right? Because as much as I, you know, am happy to be done the program, I'm a very need the accountability kind of person. So I'm excited about the self-development for me to be able to continue with that. So yeah, that's exciting.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exciting. We are so happy for you and so proud of all your hard work and the positivity that you brought to this process. Yeah, we're just so excited for where things are going, and we love that we'll be able to stay connected, and can hardly wait to celebrate with you the next item on your list that you pay off. Like, we want to hop on a call and be like, let's celebrate this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And we want to bring you back to do your dream screen.
Yes.
Oh, I know. That's a
You are
big,
debt-free.
big, exciting focus for me.
We are doing that, the dream screen.
Yes.
And rock in there. Let me ask you this. Let me end it here. Right now, 40% of Americans, 40% of Canadians have lost hope on ever achieving becoming debt free. That's what the stats are showing right now. So 4 to 10 have completely lost hope that they'll ever become debt free in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to them?
Oh gosh, I would say don't ever give up hope and join Smart Money Academy. That's what I would say.
Come on in.
But it is, in all honesty, I think, I'm sure there are lots of different situations out there, but they're all doable. And I think every single one of us has it within ourselves to find our way. We just need the right coaches to get you there, and you need the right path to, and there's some real renewal and hope that can come from having a plan, you know? So yeah,
a new spark. For sure. I've lived it. You know, I've got mentors and coaches in my life all the time that are coaching me and mentoring me and help pushing me forward. I know, Jen, you've got them in your life too, you know, and so it's something we preach, it's something we practice, because it makes, you know, as you have seen, Kim, today, it makes you better, and it doesn't take long.
Yeah. No.
6 months ago, it was cold. It was Christmas. Santa was on his way. Now it's hot, it's humid, you know, it's summer, and what a change and transformation that's happened in your life.
Yeah.
So super excited for that. And what I love is that we're not done yet. We're done one-on-one coaching, but you're in the back end. You're in with us here in the Momentum group, where we continue to hop and we're going to continue to serve you. So we're going to continue to mentor you in there. So make sure you stay plugged in.
Oh, I will.
in there, and we'll come in there and help, still continue to track with you and guide with you, celebrate when you pay off debt. So can't wait to see that. Can't wait for you to have your dream screen, and really just can't wait to see what the rest of your life looks like. I mean, you're young and you've got a bright future.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about where you're at is the sky is really the limit, right? In terms of what you can do, what you're going to do. When you got no payments, guess what you get to have?
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we're proud of you. Thank
you.
you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
For those that are out there that are listening to this and you're like, can that be me? I don't know. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. We don't promise we can help everybody, but the one thing we do say is, like, you can do what you did, hop on that call and let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
And if we can help you, we'll walk you through it. And if we can't, and there's those that we can't, it's just, not the situation we can help in. We say, we'll be upfront and tell you that, but we'll get you connected and help get you started in some direction or another.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say to you guys. So Kim, thanks so much for sharing your story. It inspires so many people. It inspires me. It gets me excited to hear the progress you've made and how far you come and where you're going. So I'm really proud of you and really excited for you.
Thank you.
Yes, me too.
I really couldn't have done it without you guys. I mean it. I wish you were closer. The next time, when all of this pandemic opens up, the next time I'm in Toronto, I may have to come and do a face-to-face visit.
Let's do it. We'll take you out for
in.
lunch and dinner and a coffee, and we'll hang out.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate everything
you.
you've done here. And again, don't be a stranger.
I won't.
Reach out, stay connected. We want to journey. When we say we want to journey with you, it's not just, we really want to journey with you all the way through here until you're debt free. And so we want to be a part of your life for all of that.
Awesome.
Good. Oh, thanks so much. So good to see you, Kim.
Thank you. You too, Jen.